Oh, no. Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Hello!
Hello!
We are all fluff, no filler. I am Rita.
I am Alaina. Welcome back. It has been a very long time since we've recorded. It's been like 6 weeks. Yeah, something like that. I haven't seen Rita in like a month.
Yeah. This is actually our first time seeing each other in like a month.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, we drove all around Seattle today.
Yeah, that was a whole adventure to get some boba tea.
Let me tell you, girlies, it was a rough world out there.
It was a rough day for you.
I went to my favorite boba place. They were unexpectedly closed.
They opened at like noon. It was like 1:30 at best when we roll up, and they're like, "Sorry, we're closed."
We closed
like,
early today, and I was like,
"You've been open for an hour."
It's like you open at noon. What? Okay. Anyway, we are here on the traditional lands of the Coast Salish peoples, acknowledging their tenureship and their care and their stewardship. And it's rainy-ish. Seattle weather.
The weather has finally turned.
Yeah, leaves are falling.
The leaves have very much fallen. Yeah.
You're parked anywhere for an amount of time and you end up with at least 10 leaves, regardless of the amount of time you spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my blood drawn today. That sucked.
Oh, horrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, why don't you tell me what you're wearing?
Oh, great. My little paper. I had to look it up. Sweater number 15.
Okay.
By My Favorite Things Knitwear.
We're very cabled today.
Yes. It's in mYak Tibetan Cloud, which was something that I bought from the Julie Hoover Club thing when I didn't know what I was doing, because I was like, oh, a kit, that'll make it easier. And the color is Wild Daisy. And obviously I didn't make the Julie Hoover sweater that it came with. I think I tried to get gauge and just could not, and I didn't understand what was happening. But I converted it into this sweater that I wore the bejesus out of when I was in Antarctica, and I felt really warm.
Yeah, it's very cozy and cabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I mean, it's a good sweater. I like it. I would knit it again.
You wear the shit out of
I
that.
wear the shit out of
Jesus.
it. But now I want to make this, and I want to make the V-neck.
Yes.
And, we have dreams. We have dreams.
This is the Tulip Loop Rollneck by Other Loops. You'll note I have not done the Rollneck. I'm not much of a turtleneck person. I feel like often they're a little too tight, and then I feel claustrophobic. And I'm just a folded neckband girly. I just love it. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, this is the Tulip Loop Rollneck. It, I think several others in the kind of family, has that nice decreased back. I don't know if I can. Oh.
I think,
How to have your body be like, no, you're 30. So my knee was just like, girl, that's not happening.
Girl, that's cute, but no.
That's cute, but no. So it is a drop shoulder cable. Oh, I've got some salt left over from the French fries on my sweater. Drop shoulder cable knit sweater. This was one of my, I do a yearly cable knit gray adjacent sweater at the start of every year. I think this is the 4th one I've done. And I took this with me on my trip to the UK and wore the nonsense out of it, partially because I only brought 3 sweaters and it was a little chilly and I had to cycle between the 3 of them. But I knit this in the Heirloom DK base from Zeezee Textiles in the colorway Shade. I think in maybe the first podcast, I wore a top also in Shade, but on a different base. So it's interesting to see how the colors change. I don't have a whole lot to say. I love this sweater. Initially when I swatched and started knitting it, I was a little concerned about the base feeling a little itchy on my neck and chest, because I was like, there's a little bit of a pack in here. It feels a little prickly, but or it felt a little prickly, but it has softened really beautifully. It has a little bit of fuzz to it. It's also got some pilling, which is fine because I wore the nonsense out of this, which is really lovely, and to the point where I'm I would knit more of this yarn. It's very nice. It's very cozy.
Talking about Zeezee's shop update. She's being strong.
Being very strong, but it's really nice and cozy. And yeah. And you're gonna knit. You have yarn to knit the V-neck version.
Yeah, it's like Barocco.
Yeah, it's
in a white.
I think it might be the Barocco Ultra Alpaca.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And then I think I just bought Glow Hair, probably knitting for Olive.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think I knit this slightly off gauge as well because this is just a DK weight yarn. I think it calls for DK. It's just a fiber. DK plus lace, and I didn't want to hold the mohair with it. I was just, I think, I didn't want to knit. I don't know why I didn't want to hold a mohair with it, but I really liked the color on its own. And
you didn't want to augment it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to buy more yarn also. So I knit it like slightly off gauge. I don't really remember what size I knit.
I don't know what size.
I remember swatching, and I think it's like there's more of it on the back side. I think it's just like the 3x2 rib pattern that you swatch in, and I went with a size that brought me like slightly under the gauge, but I liked the fabric a little better. I just felt it was gonna get like really like, I don't know, loose, really gapey, and I would prefer a slightly more structured fabric. Anyways, very happy with it. Finished objects. I have a whole stack.
I have 3.
I have been a knitting monster.
And I was sewing for the Hobbit Fest, so.
Yeah, you were doing a lot of sewing.
Decreased amount of, doing a lot of sewing. I killed myself.
Yeah, we shan't be doing that again.
No.
It's
good to have a goal, but not like that.
Yeah. First of the finished objects, we'll start with something that like was seen previously on the podcast. This is The Till, which is a shawl. It's a free shawl pattern from Sandro Yarn Co. It's really, really big. So I would love to like get this all in frame, but I can't. It is, I think actually along this center spine, it's taller than I am, which is great. And
cozy.
I was like really ambivalent about this yarn as I was knitting it. It is, oh Jesus, I don't remember the yarn. Like Lana Vendelay, a chic blend, that's what it is. It's some kind of wool and mohair blend. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of the Italian name. I was really ambivalent about it as I was knitting it, but it knit up and blocked really nicely, and it feels quite nice. It still has like a little bit of the prickle factor to it, to my taste.
Yeah.
My taste, ooh. But it's quite lovely, and to the point where while I was on vacation, I ran into this yarn in a yarn shop and was like, I'll buy more. I didn't, spoiler. I did buy other yarn, but I did not buy more of that. What is happening with my hair? That's fine. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It took me like, so it's knit in halves. I knit the first half in like, I don't know, 2 weeks, and then I banged out the second half in like 3 days. I was like, I have a week to finish this before we go on vacation. I'd like to take it. And then I finished it in 3 days instead. So it was a lot of garter stitch to be doing, but
oh, so squashy.
It's very squashy, and I bought yarn to make another one while on vacation.
You know what you like.
I do, and I like squashy. Do you want me to do a couple more?
Yeah, I can do one more and then I'll go.
This was not even seen on our last podcast. I think I had a different Musselburgh hat that I frogged. One. Yeah, the blue one that I frogged, and I knit in a different yarn that I had actually previously.
I want to take the earth from you.
Okay. You can take the earth from me. That's fine. This is the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague.
So cute.
This is Cascade Heritage sock. It's gonna be too small for you. I think the color is Sweet Lavender. We'll link everything down below. So cute. I had started a pair of
soft.
It's very soft. I had started a pair of socks in this when I think we're in Vegas, and was like,
with the color.
I'm not like loving these. I didn't want to knit on them, and so I wasn't knitting on them, and I was like actively avoiding it, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm just going to like frog these and do something else. And I was like, well, I really love this color. I'd love for it to be something that I can wear, and I think it looks good on me. So
goodbye.
Throw it on the ground. So instead I knit a hat. I knit a lot of it in the course of a weekend. I don't remember why. Oh, it might have been after we got our COVID shots, and I was just like dead tired knitting on the couch. It knit up really fast because I can do a lot of things while I knit stockinette. And it's a Musselburgh hat.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I brought it with me on the trip. I did not wear it at all.
Oh wait, you brought it finished?
Yeah, I brought the finished hat. I brought 2 finished knit hats on the trip, and wore neither of them. And I was like, why? I managed to somehow both overpack and underpack. Like I had like extra t-shirts that I I brought like, I actually pared a lot back, but I brought like 2 t-shirts that I didn't wear. I wore one actually on one single day on like the first day that we were gone in DC, and then proceeded to never wear them because I was wearing these sweaters because I was like, I'm cold actually.
Oh, you don't wear...
No, I had tank tops underneath.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I had tank tops for layering. I was just expecting like slightly warmer weather for some reason. I don't know why I expected that, but...
Sorry, Europe.
Yeah, sorry. I also brought like a baseball hat that I wore a couple of times, but like beyond that, it's like, why did I bring a knit hat? I didn't need the knit hat apparently. I thought I would, but...
I wear my knit hats like all the time.
I thought I would.
Okay, I'll start with...
Throwing things back there.
Maybe I'll go in order of like what's been complete recently.
Yeah.
My little sockies! Yay! These are just some vanilla socks, cast on 64 stitches, regular gusset heel flap. This is Earl Grey Fiber Co. in Goldie and Finch. You can kind of see where the difference is in the skeins that I had left.
I don't know, can I see it? I just don't know. Can I see it?
And then the toes and the heels I did in a color called Avocado from Hedgehog Fiber Co. Or Fiber Co?
Hedgehog fibers?
Hedgehog Fibers? Yeah.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, Hedgehog. And it was just a little mini that I picked up when we were shopping. I was like, I can't resist this. I love the color. And I think it goes really great with these socks. This has been one of my favorite color combos. Something about it, just like, you know, you did have those colors that like froth your brain up, or like when you've eaten too many Starbursts and your mouth's kind of like watering. Like, that's what it feels like.
I love that description, actually.
And I want to see if I can find a yarn. You see how it's like pooling around here? If I could find like this combination of like pooling where it's like kind of like green with some yellow.
That's interesting how it's pooling like that, and then on the other side it's just like purple and yellow stripes. Like that's wild. That's fun.
Yeah.
Color pooling is weird to me.
I perfectly used up the skein of Goldie and Finch, and I still have some avocado left.
Nice.
Which is great. And I'm happy to have these as a pair of socks.
Yeah, and you've been wearing them too. I remember you sent me a photo while I was out of town, and I was like, socks!
Yeah, I've finally gotten to a point now where I think I've figured out my little sock recipe.
Yay!
So I can make them.
I just bought a new sock pattern on Ravelry last night.
I bought a sock book when I was in the store. Because it was the last pom-pom one that was sitting there, and I was like, do I need this? Is the last one?
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I left it.
That's valid.
But what happens if maybe I need it? No, they're closed today because it's Monday. All right, anyway.
Speaking of colors that make my brain froth, I did finish, and I brought this with me on the trip. I did finish my Paul Klee sweater. Not a whole lot to say about it. I think I was literally right at the end of right at the start of the ribbing when I left off, and I didn't have sleeves. I had 4 more balls of yarn left, and I was like pretty certain I was gonna run out, and when I did. Each sleeve took about 2 balls of yarn, and so I had to order more from the Woolly Thistle. They took forever to ship. But fun little happy surprise, the yarn arrived. I had bought this Jamieson and Smith, this main color, from a totally different yarn shop, I think Fairlight Fibers, as she was closing, as she was going out of business. I bought like 9 balls of this yarn from her. The yarn that I ordered from the Woolly Thistle, same colorway, same dye lot. I was like, well, that's a fun, happy accident. Yeah. I had ended here right before the ribbing.
Third luck.
Yeah, I had ended right before the ribbing, so I was like, okay, if I have to add in additional yarn in a different colorway, I'll do it at the ribbing. Yeah. I'd rather get the sleeves out of the way and not have to like alternate skeins on like a small circumference. That's just the epitome of that's hell to me. So I'd rather get all of the sleeves out of the way and the remaining, color that I have, but wasn't necessary at all. I think I might have knit the sleeve, or I'd not knit all the ribbing on the wrong needle size, but I actually don't mind how it turned out. I think it's nice and tidy. I feel like, not to disparage other knitters, I'm really happy with the fit of the neck on mine. I feel like some projects I've seen, either the neck is like really open, which is I think just a common problem with circular yokes, there we go, and things that like you start at the top of the ribbing for the cast on, and there's just like there's no seam structure at the top, or they're like really conical and they like sit really high on the neckline. I think that might be like a tension thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm really happy with the fit of it. I think the
colors are amazing.
I'm so happy with it. And I wore this to, I think every time I went to a yarn store. I wore this and got multiple comments on it, which was pretty exciting, or at least 2 out of the 3 times I went to yarn stores abroad. Yeah, very happy with it. I will knit it again.
You like the fit?
I do like the fit. I think I will modify the sleeves. I think they just taper slightly too much for my taste, and I don't want to go back and reknit them just because this is like a lot of ribbing on tiny needles, but like I'm happy with the fit. I think it turned out great, and I really want to do another version. I have still quite a lot of the Jamieson and Smith and Jamieson's of Shetland yarns that I think I could finagle some kind of scrappy adjacent yoke. And I also have just like, I'm putting together like bags of leftover like non-superwash fingering weight yarns to do something scrappy with, and I'm garnering a lot of those. So I'd like to do something possibly Paul Klee adjacent with that. I think that'll be nice. Yeah. Do you want me to do another one?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, this is my finished Harriet Sweater.
Beautiful.
She's very lovely. I think when last we showed her off, I think I was still working on the body and she didn't have sleeves. And we'll hold her. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. I don't know that I'm actually like quite as entranced with it. I didn't wear it.
Look at it. Have you looked at it recently?
I was worried about running out of yarn. So I think the pattern instructs you to knit basically as much stockinette up here underneath the motif, but I was really worried about running out of yarn, and I do have just like a small amount left.
Oh, so you're right.
I was valid in being concerned about that.
I'm like, look at it.
So I think proportionally, I'm not like super excited. It's also like very big. The structure of the fabric is like pretty loose. And I had some weird tension things happening.
It's on the inside.
It's very pretty on the inside. I had some weird tension things happening. Usually I'm very good and I will swatch for the color work, and I didn't do that because I had swatched for the stockinette for a different project. It's like a whole thing. I had swatched for a different project, got gauge for that, and then I didn't want to knit that with this yarn. And I was like, well, that's similar enough for this one. Let's just call it a day and size down. I did some gauge math and it's fine. And the color work is fine up here. It's also fine on the body. It was not fine on the sleeves for some reason.
Oh, like these ones right here.
These ones, yeah. So when I had originally knit the sleeves, I knit the color work all the way here. And then I started the stockinette. And it's very common for like your stranded color work gauge to be a little tighter than your stockinette gauge. Typically, that is not an issue for me. I don't have to like size up or down needles generally. It's just fine. And for some reason here it went like whoo out, even with decreases.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And when I looked at the gauge, it was like, okay, we're getting like 23 stitches before blocking here, and we're at like 21-20 in the rest of the sleeve in the plain stockinette. So I was like, well, I think it'll grow. It'll, you know, sit nicely, sit better with blocking, but I don't think it's going to quite achieve the same gauge as the rest of it. So ultimately what I did was that I ripped back to the start of the color work and I did a lot more decreases. It was very technical what I did. I folded over, this was prior to, what is what I'm looking for? I'm so brain dead right now. I'm still so, I feel like jet lagged. I'm not jet lagged anymore, but I feel still brain jet lagged. Frog. I frogged. Before I frogged, I folded over the two and I very scientifically stuck a DPN through and then counted the number of stitches on either side of the DPN, and it was about, I think it was like 8 stitches, so I needed to lose about an inch. Maybe it was like 2 inches, I can't remember. It was at least a month and a half ago at this point. And I very, very brilliantly calculated that I needed to lose about 1.5 inches of stockinette fabric. And so I just decreased that evenly around and continued on with the rest of the sleeve. I think it's a little bit narrower than is otherwise drafted for, but it's super oversized, so it really wasn't an issue. And then I promptly went out of town and didn't have a chance to wear it. So we'll see if I wear it at all.
You didn't bring it with you?
No, I didn't bring anything with mohair because we were going to be doing a lot of walking, and I knew that I would probably be sweaty, and mohair gets really prickly to me when sweaty. But I'm otherwise like generally fine with mohair. I didn't want to like. I didn't want to be concerned about that. I took this one, I took the swan sweater that I showed off last time, and then I took the Paul Klee, and I think it was a great range of things. I had like 2 DK weight sweaters and then 1 fingering weight, and I was not really cold at any point. Had a little coat, it was great.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing I finished. Sophie Scarf. This is Lamb and Kid Serendipity Foxtrot. The color's Foxtrot. Wait,
so much boba in my mouth.
She's been attacked by boba.
That's fine. I'm fine.
It's their 100% cashmere. I think they don't carry it anymore. We were in the store, a lady in front of me, I was like checking out, and the lady in front of me had a skein of this, and she's like, there's only 2 left. Well, 1, because I have this one. And I was like, oh my God. And like, I ran to the basket and grabbed it, and...
It was expensive yarn. It's like $70, or it was full price. It was $70. Yeah. I know because I bought a single skein of it and I made a Musselburgh hat.
Yes, that hat's so nice.
It's so beautiful.
So I made this into a Sophie scarf. I started knitting this at my little Hobbit Fest. I just did it in 1 strand because I wanted to be able to wrap it, and I wanted it to be loose and light and fuzzy. And I love it. Can't go wrong with Sophie scarf. I did somehow go wrong with it when I was first knitting it. I was doing the increases.
You cannot go wrong with it, but let me tell you how I did.
I messed it up. And so like I knit like halfway, and I realized that I had done my increases, like counted at the beginning incorrectly. And so I was like, oh, it's fine, it's handmade, whatever, I'll just do the other half. But then I was like, and then my like little perfectionist voice wouldn't shut up, and I unraveled the whole thing and restarted it.
You're really prone to doing that.
That's literally the story of this hat. I was about to start the decreases, and I unraveled it this morning.
Oh, interesting. What was the problem there?
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine you'll tell me in a minute. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think I perfectly. No, I have 10 grams of this left, so I was gonna try to make like a little hair tie, and like,
that'll be cute. With a little bow.
Wear this little bow.
Very cute.
My plan.
Well, in the same vein of cashmere scarfies, isn't she incredible?
Oh!
This is the Jaunty by Andrea Mowry, which is, in my estimations, very similar to the Sophie Scarf. I mean, most scarves you can just like knit until you're halfway done. This is the Cardiff Cashmere yarn, which so nice. I normally wouldn't spring for because it's like $30 a ball at our local yarn store, but it is a lot less expensive. In the UK, it was like £15 a ball with like exchange rate. We're not going to talk about exchange rates, but I was like, that's like basically free at this point. So for some reason I was like, I'm going to only get 5 balls of yarn. Why didn't I get 6? It would have been a lot easier to split the halfway point. So I had to use the power of math, and more importantly, my husband, Colin, had to help me. So that I could more appropriately split it in half, and I ended with about this much yarn. I knit this in about a little over a week while I was on vacation.
You have a little hair tie too.
I knit this in a little over a week while we were on vacation, and it was like a really good travel knitting project. We had a couple of train rides. I think I started it on a train ride and made it probably like up to like here in a couple of hours, and then just like proceeded to work on it. But there was a lot of, as we were like walking around Edinburgh shopping, there was like a lot of like kind of triangular scarfy things that were much shorter than this, and so they'd tie, and I was like, I could do better. And I'm already doing better because I've already purchased the yarn and have started the project.
And it's cashmere.
And it's cashmere. They were cashmere too.
Oh, right.
But the important part was that I didn't have to knit those and could just enjoy it rather than also knitting this and also enjoying it. But still, I was very excited. I haven't had a chance to wear it because this is literally the first time I've been out of the house in like a week because I've just been exhausted and tired and sick. Yeah. I'm very excited about this one, and so much so. This is actually the second one that I have knit. I didn't finish the first one before we left. That's a whip to show off later, but
I was like, I think I want to make that.
Yeah, it's a really nice nice fabric. It's very rhythmic. It's half fisherman's rib, so like the backside is also really pretty.
Yeah,
There's a nice
like
fold line in there.
You think that
Sorry.
would look nice with variegated?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you're getting ahead of me. You're putting that's a whip. You're putting the cart before the horse. But so this is the second one that I cast on. I cast on a third promptly thereafter. This is Woolfolk Tinned. I really like this one.
This color's
amazing. I bought this on a whim like last year.
Same weight of yarn?
No, this is a fingering weight. Cashmere?
Okay.
The Cardiff Cashmere Classic, in my opinion, so I think it's like typed as a DK, because if you look at just like grams per yard, it's like a heavy DK, but like in terms of like actual weight, I feel like it's more like a sport weight yarn. The Andrea Mowry pattern is kind of gaugeless, similar to like the Sophie Scarf. You can just like knit it in whatever needles are appropriate. I used a size 4 for this, and I'm really happy with the fabric. I think the pattern would have recommended a 5, but I thought that would just be too gapey for the weight of yarn, and I was correct. This is a fingering weight yarn. This is just 2 skeins of tinned. I think it used maybe 96 grams total, and I have a little ball left over. And I used US 2.5 or 3 millimeter needles. I don't know what that accent was. And it's long enough to kind of wear, around the neck, but I also kind of like the idea of it wearing and tied a little smaller. I finished this a couple of days ago. I think when we were sitting on Discord, I was working on this. I was like, here, and I was like, I have to finish this today. And it did, and it grew really significantly in blocking. I think this one grew by like 12 inches, something like that. I think I have it noted in my Ravelry projects. Okay. This I think also grew probably close to 10 inches. So it's a really stretchy fabric, just kind of as a function of the structure of it, but it is a really lovely squashy fabric.
Yeah, this one's really nice.
Yeah, this color, I'm just like dying. It's like a wine red, dark chocolate cherry color. I'm very happy with it. This is just, I think like these two are the colors that are frothing my brain right now. If we want to be really technical about it. And I have one more finished object.
Okay, so I'll go next, and then you'll...
Yeah.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. It is the Sandro Pullover by Flaminia.
Knitting Phlegm, I believe.
Knitting Phlegm.
But like F-L-E-M, not like phlegm, like...
Sorry, yeah. And it's in Sandisgarn Petite Knit, Double Sunday. The number is 2542. I had bought this when I wanted to copy a ready-made cardigan that we saw in Aritzia, and then realized that the color wasn't really for me. And as I was destashing, I was looking at it. I was like, well, I still want to like try to work with this yarn because I want to know if I like it or not, and especially because it's already here. I spent money on it, and then realized that this would be a good color for Nathan. And had seen Paige knitting this when she was test knitting it, and I was like, oh, it's like marked as unisex. Like that would be great. I could do that for Nathan. It fits him, it's great. I kind of had to really aggressively block it to like pull it out to make it like it form fit him, and he wanted a little looser, so that's great. The instructions for actually making it fit like a more masculine body were really sparse, and as someone who likes more instructions, I was like, you give me like a paragraph on how to do this, this is not enough. So I had to ask Alaina for a lot of help on how to get it to fit a larger body and kind of like interpret what the paragraph meant for like the actual changes on it.
I feel like the only real change, I mean, aside from like adjusting the ease that he was gonna wear it with, I feel like the only difference we really had to do was like maybe in the like armhole depth.
Yeah.
To make it.
Yeah, this is
like
a lot. I'm like, I knit a size 2 for most numbers, but for the sleeves, we went a lot lower and I ended up picking up closer to the second to last size. And so I was following directions for the second to last size on decreasing on the arm. So there's like 16 decreases and then about this much length just there. and then did the recommended amount of ribbing for everything.
It turned out really nice. It looks really good.
I know, like this is like the yarn feels really heavy and like
it is a very weighty merino.
Yeah. So we'll see how much wear he gets out of it. He usually runs really hot, so like layering this might be hard for him. But he's happy with it, and I'm happy that he's happy with it. And I think I want to make one for myself. I haven't quite figured out what yarn or anything, and I obviously am going to make, like, I think when I knit him the size 2, I'll want like an 8. Like, it's like, I like things very oversized.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stole this from his closet, and maybe I can get a picture or like a video of him.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Insert. We'll hope for no sweater curse.
Well, you're already married, so I think it's fine.
Is it just a?
It's just a boyfriend
unmarried partner.
Yeah, typically it's like it's just like your unmarried partner. It's not like my hot.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you knit, and you're still together. You knit him a sweater.
Yeah, he doesn't wear the sweater, and it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
The whole. I didn't enjoy that project. I didn't enjoy it, but like he wore it a couple of times. Yeah. He put in a brave effort, and at this point, I don't care. It's like it's whatever. Yeah. It's not in my hands anymore. Like if I made myself a sweater and it got ruined, I would be like horrified. I would feel really bad about ruining my own project. But like, you know, if something were to happen to his sweater or like any of the shawls, I knit him his grandma. I knit his grandmother a very beautiful lace shawl. And like if something were to happen to that, this was like several years ago, if something were to happen to that, like at this point, whatever, it's in God's hands. I would be sad, but I wouldn't be like livid. I'm never gonna knit for you again. Yeah. Just like the sweater curse to me is like an interesting, I don't think it's a curse. It's so much as it's just like, it's gift knitting in general. Like, would I spend hours and hours and hours of my own personal free time and money? Because yarn is not inexpensive. Yarn does have a cost. Would I spend all of this effort and money to make a project for someone who like wouldn't appreciate that amount of effort? Like they're not going to appreciate the amount of time that goes into a hand.
Or like, are you okay
like,
with them not understanding that?
Right. So like, I mean, in that regard, I don't knit for my husband largely because he doesn't really wear anything. He wears lots of hoodies, and I'm not going to knit him a hoodie.
He's a casual tech bro.
He is a casual tech boy. He wears the hats I make him. I think I've made him a pair of socks, and it's fine. If he wanted something, if he was like, will you knit me a sweater? I would be like, hell yeah, I'll knit you a sweater. Right. But like, I don't feel that way when other people ask me that.
Yeah, Nathan's never asked. I was just like, oh, I think I want to. Yeah. Like, I think this color will be good. Right. And I was moved by the project and the yarn color. Right. For him. My soapbox, my philosophy about gift knitting is that it has to be the perfect storm of like, this is a thing I really want to knit in a yarn that I want to knit with, rather than like, hey, will you please make me this sweater? I know you're not going to enjoy it and it's going to take up all of your time and energy for a certain amount of time. Right. And I was like, I will knit you something if I feel so inspired, and I'm happy to take your input from there, but I'm not going to just like, I would like to make you a cabled sweater, or I'm not going to take that request. That's my soapbox about gift knitting. And speaking of gift knitting, there's actually 2 more. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a baby blanket that I just finished for a friend's baby, I guess. Wait, like what? Like she adopted a giraffe? Like why? Question mark baby.
No, I was like a gift or a blanket that I knit for my friends who are going to have a baby, but I guess the blanket is really for the baby. This is, I knit that little Holger baby sweater with
that was so cute.
Yeah, so this is for them, for both of their children. I have kind of picked a color story around like purple. They really love this like lavender lilac purple. So the first blanket I knit for them had the purple and then like burgundy and I feel like some neutrals in there because I liked that color combo. But so the yarn that I really like to knit, this is the Stephen West Vertices Unite baby blanket. The yarn that I really like to use for this, Sanduskarn Smart. they were discontinuing a lot of colors, or there was like not a lot of colors available, and I was like, well, that's kind of silly. So I branched out and I decided to try the Sandro merino wool, which is a DK weight, similar to, you know, the Smart. For this color, the DK weight wasn't available, so I had to hold 2 strands of fingering weight together, and I really did not appreciate that experience. So you're a lot braver than I am. I feel like every Vertices Unite baby blanket unit, like 50% or more of it is like fingering weight held double, and
the first time was the first. That most recent.
I'm not strong enough for that. I'm not strong enough for that. I do really prefer the Smart over the merino wool. I feel like it is a little bit thinner, so I feel like even though the project is like maybe like a stitch under gauge instead of like 20 stitches, it's maybe 21. I do feel like it's just like a little. What is the word I'm looking for? Floppier? I don't know. It doesn't have the structure. It's more relaxed than I'd like it to be. I'm happy with it. Otherwise, it turned out nice. This reminds me of like those... They're like paper cups. They were like 90s paper cups. They were white.
Like always in the dentist's office?
Yeah. This is the color. This is what that reminds me of. I realized as I was knitting it, I was like, something is tickling my brain about this and I cannot figure out what it is. And finally I had to put in a good think. I knit this in about 3.5 days. Previously my record was about a week, but I knit this in about 3.5 days. I was supposed to go to the baby shower sprinkle yesterday, but wasn't feeling well and didn't want to get the pregnant lady sick. So I did not go. Which is fine because it leaves me the opportunity to show this off on the podcast, fold it really strangely.
I can never fold this thing cute.
It's fine. It'll be fine. But I have more yarn to knit another one because, you know, I'm always knitting them in 2s. I never knit just one of these. I always have to knit one right after the other. I'm taking a break. But this is the first of 2 for the year. I feel like it's 2. I knit 2 every 2 years. If I could just cut it back to like 1 every year, I would be okay with that. But 2 every 2 years, like right next to each other, is a lot.
That is a lot.
I knit this on US size 6 needles or 4mm needles, and then for the I-cord trim, I used. So when I do these, I pick up all of the stitches on the like same needle that I've used for the body of the blanket, and then when I do the I-cord bind off, I just use a DPN, and I size up the DPN. I think I used a 9.
Oh, you size up
so it makes slipping stitches back over really, really easy.
Oh, okay.
I find generally that like an applied I-cord edge, I need to size up a little bit for, like, it's all very like specific to like your gauge, but like what I've observed is that if I knit the I-cord bind off in the same needle size, it's a little too tight, so I size up a little bit.
Mine always looks really loose, so
It's just a personal thing.
Mine never looks like that.
Mine is like definitely a little loose on this blanket, but I would rather it be a little loose than like a little.
No, mine's like fat and
scrunched
looking. Like yours looks like it's the same like gauge. Mine is like. But I'm like baby blanket, whatever, it's soft.
But that's my trick for doing the I-cord bind off quickly, because I feel like I can more easily slip the stitches over if the needle in my working hand is a lot larger. I did find that the merino wool was a lot splittier than the Smart that I'm used to, and so I felt like I was not a lot, but just like more than normal, like splitting the yarn, and that was not my favorite knitting experience. So I will probably use up the leftovers. I mean, I will use up the leftovers probably for another little clown baby knit. Just like a DK weight sweater, like a hat for the baby, and then I don't know if I will want to work with that base again unless I like really explicitly have to, or absolutely have totally forgotten this knitting experience in the next few years and then
bite it in.
Oh wow, what a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah. And my last
Yay.
I can't believe it's been 40 minutes and I'm not done with finished
That's so
objects.
Cute.
So this is the Ooey Gooey Cowl. I hate the name.
I want one.
From Andrea Mowry. I think I sent you this.
Yeah, you did.
This is it's kind of just a tube of stockinette, or a tube of string color work, and I knit this using I just needed like a little bit of a second skein because I was all under gauge, and I had to stretch her a little bit, and she's still a little shorter than the pattern would suggest. But I used a skein of Spincycle Nocturne, which is their color changing merino, but it's a non-superwash where it's dyed in the wool. And the worsted DK weight one those are technically both superwash, even if they don't really feel like it. And then I held 2 skeins or 2 balls of Suri double for this floof, and that is Explore Knit's Woodruff. And where I had started, so you knit a tube, and then you block it, and then you add a twist, and then you graft it together. And I think when I had originally started, might be there, I think it's here. So I had started here and was knitting that way and was like, okay, cool, I like this. And we got into the yellows and I was like, I don't like this. I actually don't love this. And then we got into these other colors and I was like, just kidding, I'm back on board. So I went through a lot of feelings as I was knitting this. And I think I smashed through it really quickly. It's like a 64 row chart and you just knit it 3 times.
Yeah.
I knit the first 64, the first row repeat in like a day. And I was like, okay, I can finish this in 3 days. Yeah. And then I felt very guilty that I was knitting basically a colorwork sleeve, but not working on the Harriet Sweater. So I did set that down and get through the Harriet Sweater. And then I was like, okay, I guess I can get back to this silly little cowl. When I finished it, the weather was still really warm in Seattle. And then I didn't take it with me when we were going out of town. Yeah. So I still
already
haven't
a lot of it.
Worn it. But now the weather has turned. Perhaps I will wear it, otherwise it'll be a gift. I can see absolutely knitting this again. It was like a really fun knit and like...
Yeah. Would you use color changing on again?
Like in general or for this?
For this?
Yeah. Yeah. I have, I think, 2 skeins of... It's the Yarn Hero sock base that changes color.
Yes.
It's very pretty. I think I was looking at doing that. I just couldn't land on like the fluff, and I was like, I have so many other things I should be knitting.
Yeah.
But
and like inspiration will strike you when it strikes.
Right. I think the pattern recommends a size 4 needle. I sized up to a 5. I would size up to a 6 for the next time because row gauge is really a lot more important in this than anything else because that's going to dictate how wide it or how long it is around your neck.
Yeah.
Rather than like how tall it is, which I mean will play a factor, but anyways, yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. It's cute. I like the colors. I'm not as wild about the yellows in there, but that's kind of the way it goes with Spincycle, I feel. Yeah. This is my first time actually knitting with Spincycle. I've got the second time and that's less of a win.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to talk about whips?
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm finally through this pile of finished objects.
Look how many things she finished! Just been a bit. We've had a bit of time. You had vacation.
A lot of time to knit. Yeah.
Plane rides, train rides. Like, you know, that makes sense.
And a lot of plane rides.
Okay, well, I'll start with what I've been knitting on here. Yeah. It's an Oslo hat. The start of an Oslo hat. I would have been able to finish it for today's podcast because I was like, oh, she has like 8 things and I have 4. That'll be perfect because we're 2. But then this morning, actually last night, I was about to do the decreases and I was too lazy to go upstairs to get my printed pattern. And so I downloaded it on my computer because I was watching Nathan play Satisfactory. And I opened it and it was like, change to 3s. I don't know, whatever. I can't remember the point. Right. I can't remember the millimeters. But yeah, so it was like change to US 3s. And I was like, what the fuck? Have I been knitting on this the wrong thing this whole time?
I mean, if you like the gauge and the fabric and whatnot, and the fit, it's
and
not needle size.
Yeah, I put it on my head and it fit. It was kind of tight, but I was like, what? Okay. But I just felt like I was going crazy because I was like, I'm pretty sure that it's US 4s because I checked that. And then I went upstairs this morning and I looked at it. It's old. I've used this to knit many hats.
She's scraggly.
She's seen some things. It says US 4s.
Okay.
When you download the English one, US 3s. When you look at the Ravelry page 2.5. So this morning I was like, wait a second. What?
Interesting.
Yeah. So this one that I have printed from back in the day says 20 to 23 stitches by 32 rows. All of the other ones note 23 stitches. I was at 24 stitches. So I was like, all right. So I unraveled it, and I'm redoing it. And this is already a project that used to be a hat that I've unraveled. It was an old Musselburgh that was just way too big, and I had to retire it. I was like, even for like how loose I like my hats, this was comically too loose. I was like, I can't. So I finally unwound it and recaked it, and it was
Fabric is lovely.
yeah, it was basically a hat this morning, and then I undid it again. But it'll be a hat again
Someday.
someday. This is Big Little Yarn Co. merry-go-round, based on the Howl's Moving Castle scene where Howl and Sophie are coming in through the sky. I have a big emotional attachment to it, and then I'm using a light blue knitting for olive mohair. It's just speckly and it's pretty, and I'm excited for it to be a hat.
And you're really briefly alternating skeins.
Oh yeah, that was my Musselburgh was helical knit, and I unwound it, and then unwinding this morning was also helical knit.
That's very brave of you.
I know, with mohair, it's been chaotic. So you can see how many ends I had, because like things are just being chaotic and not quite matching up precisely. We'll get there. It'll be fine. I'll have
Someday you'll have the hat again.
Yeah. Honestly, like, it took me like a day to knit like the main piece.
It's
It's
fast.
So like it's not bad, and I really do like the yarn. So like for the amount of
You've gotten a
enjoyment-
lot of enjoyment out of that one skein of yarn.
I'm hanging out with Hal and Sophie. It's fine. We're in the sky together.
Yeah.
They don't know I'm here, but I'm here.
Creepy.
They're just cartoon characters. What can I say?
Fair.
So that's the main thing. That's what I've been knitting on.
This is also a Musselburgh hat. Got the extra yarn tucked away in the bottom. This is in the final stages of hatting. Oh, that's the other end. That's so fun. This is the Musselburgh hat. I'm using a skein of yarn from, it's Explore Knits and Fibers. It's from like the original Iceland like calendar, like
cool.
the winter solstice calendar. I think the colorway is called like, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's like Yokel Sarlun or something. There's a lot of accents on things, but the colorway will be linked on my Ravelry. This is, I think, an adult large. It seems like comically massive to me, but I think...
I know, especially compared to your little blue one.
Yeah, compared to my little blue one, I like... That doesn't look right. It's like an adult extra large. Maybe it's an extra large. I don't remember. No, it's an adult large.
I know, I'm doing the adult medium.
Yeah, I usually knit a medium for myself. I feel like this one is like maybe a little tight, but like this theoretically is the same gauge, and it's like huge. I feel like it didn't quite get as long as I would have expected to before I started to be like, ooh, I think I have to start the decreases before I run out of yarn. Theoretically, were I not a type A person, I could like just make the increase side like the face out side and not the decrease side, and just like finish off the decreases with whatever color, but that's not who I am. I like the decrease side a lot better.
I know. Go hat perfectionists.
I think it's probably like 20 inches in length before I started the decreases. It'll be fine. What?
The hat perfectionist.
Hat perfectionist. But I had cast this on to take on vacation as some knitting, and it actually didn't get a whole lot of love because I was knitting the jaunty in cashmere, because that was new and exciting and a lot more fun than just like I'm knitting in the round. But it'll be finished probably by the end of the day. I'm knitting with US 3s or 3.25 millimeter. That's, I think, the most comfortable I've found for like a fingering weight yarn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super happy that I'm on my, I call them my Musselburgh needles for this.
Yeah. I knit like 20 Musselburgh hats in like a year. Maybe it was like 17 or 18, something like that. I knit a lot of them in the course of a year with like the same 3 millimeter needles, because I was just trying to get through stash. And and they were like wooden. They were like Luca needles, and like the way that they were so worn down at the tip, like one of them was like paddle shaped. It was like flat from just like all of the knitting, and I was like, it's probably time to upgrade to like a pair of chow goos, which are like my preferred anyways. I don't know why I was knitting it with like wooden needles, but it'll be done eventually. It's a really
pretty color,
pretty like dynamic teal.
Dynamic teal.
Yeah, dynamic. That's a descriptor I have for a different. There's a lot of tie-ins.
Okay, we're ready.
But I used to have a very cool like Gen Z coworker who is a painter, and I wore, I think, my Flower Power pullover, which like the colorway, the main colorway was called like dark green black, but it was like dark green. There's like some purple in there, and she was like, "That's a really beautiful color." She called it very dynamic, like it had a lot of depth to it, and I was like, "I love that. I'm stealing it forever. Thank you so much." Moving on.
Great way to describe color.
Yeah, I was like dynamic. That's a good word.
Yeah.
My
turn?
Yes, I have 3 more whips, but they're not as much to speak about.
Okay. I am trying the Maxine water bottle.
Oh, ooh!
I started this maybe on the airplane to Hobbit Fest, and then knit a little bit more on the airplane in Hobbit Fest. I kind of stalled out a little bit because I was doing this in the dark, so I couldn't really see what colors I was choosing. And I was like, just vibes, just pull it out. So there's a light blue in there that looks like a white. And
I can see it's light blue, but it's very much...
Yeah, it doesn't really look...
It's giving white.
It's giving white in the context of this. But, I don't know. So we'll see if I keep continuing, maybe pull back. But I just made a little bag wound of a bunch of minis just to like pull from.
Fun.
Just to figure out what colors I might want to choose. You can't really see all of them. But I bought a little hot water bottle heater thing because I was like, oh, if I'm gonna be cold at the Hobbit Fest thing, I might be able to pour water, like boil water, put this into it, keep it in the bed. And then I thought it'd be very like Hobbit cozy looking if I was like knitting a cover for it. So that was my thought. But I haven't picked it up since we've got home. But I thought, I thought I would show it off. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm like excited again, and also I think I need to pull back and like fix that blue because I didn't plan it all, and then I looked and I was like, oh, this color's gonna be really featured.
Right. Yeah.
So low contrast, I feel like I'm into sometimes, but maybe not in that moment.
Yeah, I feel like low contrast has to be the right project, and then you kind of also have to be okay with the motif just like not really standing out. I have 2 yarns that I just held up next to one another as I was packing, and I was like, these would be cute for color work together, and I was like, no, it's gonna be so low contrast and you're gonna be really mad that you can't see it. This I'm actually gonna do 2 at once because no, sorry. That's fine. Yeah. So this is Jaunty number 4, actually. We can hold it up next to Jaunty number 1, who's very lovely. So this is the first go at the Jaunty. That is, I don't remember the name of the colorway. I know it's linked on my Ravelry. It's the Pigment and Ply Silk Sock. So there's some amount of silk content in there.
She feels nice.
One that I got at Flock. It's really lovely. I just didn't take it with me on vacation because I didn't want to. I had a different project that also was half brioche or half fisherman's rib that I thought I was going to take that I also did not take for other reasons that will become apparent. But I do want to finish this one. I do feel like the stitch pattern is treating the variegated yarn really nicely. Like I feel like it's knitting up really well. I feel like on the camera I can see some like color pooling here and there, but like in person it really doesn't look like it's pooling that much.
It looks like someone took a rainbow and was like, make it blue.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's very squashy, and I think theoretically it'll turn out very similar in size to the Woolfolk Tinda one, the black cherry. And I think if it turned out anywhere close in size to that, I would be happy with it. This, I was like, I had like a brain blast. Oh my God, what if I did it in that? So I have this Cascade 220 Superwash Merino RN. I think I bought it at the same time that you bought yarn to knit the novice sweater.
Oh, wow.
That like rust one. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. I think this might have been some of the first yarn that I ever purchased. And it sat in my stash because turns out I don't like knitting with yarn thicker than like a DK weight. This is an RN weight. And honestly, I will probably frog this back because it just is like, you feel it. It's so thick. It's really squashy, but like I have 5 balls of this yarn. I think I could make like a sizable scarf wrap situation, but like the color is not really like sparking joy. It just feels like it's a little heathered, but it's just feeling kind of like flat and gray. And it's just like, this is like not that many hours. This is like maybe an hour and a half of progress. And I also like ripped out on a different needle size. I started on an 8 and I was like, this is huge. So I restarted on a 7 and like, this is not that many hours worth of progress. This is like a lot more hours worth of progress for like vastly less fabric already. But I just, oh no, we're all tangled. I'm not happy with how it's turning out. I think I'm gonna rip it back. I brought this just as like a, it's okay to rip things out if you're not happy with how it's going. And I thought it would be like, oh my God, the perfect marriage of, I'm throwing it, the perfect marriage of like pattern and yarn, and it's just, it's not. It's like so thick, and like that's what makes, you know, fisherman's ribs so lovely, but it's just like, it's gonna be too thick. It's gonna be so thick, you're not gonna be able to like wrap it around. I think like,
yeah, well, especially for Seattle, like we don't get like freezing temperatures.
Right. I just like, I don't know what to do with this yarn because I'm not going to wear a sweater out of this. It's not enough for a full sweater, I think, maybe either. But like, I don't...
Hear me out. A crazy skirt.
It would be too heavy. It would just be so heavy.
Dog blanket.
Perhaps. So like, I might just like, it could just be a baby blanket and that would be okay. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with it. I had like tossed around the idea of like a Sophie shawl with it, but like I don't know if even that's gonna be too thick. And like moreover to the point, I just don't enjoy knitting with thick yarn. So like it's entirely possible that I will just like destash this and leave this at the Tea Cozy like free library because it's just like
club.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. What a brilliant idea. But it's not sparking joy. I think I'm gonna frog it, and then I would like to get this yarn out of my stash because that's like deep stash. Yeah. That's like the dinosaur of stash. Yeah. Okay. I have one more project.
Me too.
Oh, good.
This is gonna be winter's pullover. Yay! I bought this beautiful bag at Flock. I love it. It was such a splurge because I'm like, I was trying to be so reasonable about not buying more project bags because I just gotten rid of a bunch. But then I saw this and I was like, oh, like it's just perfect. It has this nice canvas. I love this like Pendleton woolly blanket vibe, and then it had like this beautiful leather handle, and I liked that it was like taller than my other, because I like this project bag style. I have 2 others.
Yeah, it's a good shape.
But like sometimes they're too shallow to actually hold like a big thing, and I was like, I'm gonna be really sad if I see someone else walking around with this, which is somehow...
That's a good indicator.
Yeah, that's like the barometer that I use. I'm like, oh, if like somebody else buy this, will I be really sad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Will I be happy to see them, that they're so happy with it? Or will I be really sad that it's not me walking around with it?
Yes. So, started the winter's pullover. I did the back, and I did one shoulder, and I'm doing the other one, and then I'm going to join the fronts. And this is a worsted from Big Little Yarn Co. And I pre-ordered this without seeing what the skein was actually going to look like.
I think she...
The baker's assistant. It was based on Kiki's delivery service when she is like in the bakery. And I was just sort of like, emotionally, I feel like no matter what this turns out, I have like such a strong love for that film. And like everything about that film, story, colors, like everything. So I was like, whatever this looks
regardless of what it looks like, I'm
gonna love it. But I keep calling this like, it's gonna be my like disgustingly handmade.
It's going to be aggressively handmade.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not Gen Z, I'm millennial. But I feel like with the aesthetics that I've been seeing some of the younger people have is just like, you know, quilted, like crochet, like home, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, this is not millennial gray or like millennial pink, like solid white,
The
you know?
millennial beige aesthetic.
Yeah, this is like, it was fucking handmade in color.
He's very aggressively handmade. No, it's so
So
beautiful.
I'm imagining just like my huge cozy hood, and I'm like, I'm gonna be in sweatpants, and like I can walk to the grocery store and just feel fabulous.
It's a good,
Yeah.
good fabric.
And I think she showed the swatch, but I made a bunch of them with different mohairs, and none of the mohairs were like covering it up enough. So when
We wanted to tone down the variegated a little bit.
yeah, I wanted to like smooth it out even your eyes, even it on your eyes a little bit. So I went with the Fiber Spades Cumulus. It's alpaca silk, in this kind of like perfectly beigey color that somehow matched the like white, yellow, beige.
Yeah,
tones
you
in
can
there.
actually see really well, like the original skein of yarn of the cake, and then the swatch, just how like different it looks.
Yeah.
With the
Because the Suri is so fluffy
Yeah.
that it like covers more of it versus when I was using any of the mohairs.
nice.
I know, it's so soft. So I'm
So lovely.
really excited. I have been I was just working on this so hard because I was like, oh, we'll have closer even numbers. So like paused on this. But I am glad that I think I'm back down. Once I finish this hat, I'll be at 4 whips. And I've been trying to keep at 2 or 3. And obviously things went a little crazy because like whenever you're traveling, you like don't want to take a midway thing sometimes.
Right.
Or like something's too complicated or too big, or so you start something new. So since the Hobbit trip, I like cast on a bunch of new things for that. So I had stuff while I was traveling.
Right.
But now I'm coming back. It's like, okay, now we'll like, now
Right.
we're in again.
Yeah. Packing for knitting, like travel wise, is like, I think I always end up with a Musselburgh, because like it is really nice to just have something that I can like keep my hands busy with on the plane. I think I watched like
In the
Hamilton
dark,
Pro
in
Shot
the
on my way out
Yeah.
to DC, and was just like, this is great. I'm having a great time on my hat. And like sometimes I want something more complicated that isn't like as mindless as stockinette, but like it's hard to pack because you're like, what reasonably actually am I going to have time to knit on this trip? And like I'd love to take a sweater, but like, yeah, space. Yeah. I think I took the Musselburgh hat and I brought an extra cake of yarn. I didn't touch the cake of yarn because I was like, I have new yarn to play with though.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to new yarn, this is actually on barber cords because I think I will probably rip this out. This is the start of the Inclinations Cowl by also Andrea Mowry, also half
cute.
Fisherman's Rib.
I like it.
I'm really mad about this really harsh line.
Oh, that's like one ball of yarn?
Yeah, that's one ball of Spincycle. So it like it's you know, it's 2 strands, it's 2 plies, and like one of them, like they're shifting colors at different times. But like
I thought you just had like 2 different.
nope.
Yeah. All right.
Nope. It is like a hard line of like dark, and I'm fairly certain that it's going to be another hard line coming out of there. And like theoretically, this is a pattern that's knit kind of on the bias. So like this right here is going to be the seam at the back of the neck, and then it's going to come down and like at an angle. But like, so like theoretically this is going to be not even in the front, but I'm just so annoyed.
Very reasonable.
I'm so annoyed, and I have 2 skeins of this yarn.
That's not color shifting.
Yeah, that's color blocking. This is Spincycle dyed in the wool in Stay Ready. And then the other color is Craft Me Not Yarn Co's. I think it's like a BFL sock in the color Shoe Fly
I love
Pie.
the Craft Me Not colors.
It's like brown, black, variegated, gently variegated. It came with a mini. I really loved this colorway when it arrived, and I was like, I can't make socks out of her. She's perfect. What do I do? I wanted to knit a hat, and then I was like, I don't want to knit. I wanted to knit like the Essential Ribbed Beanie by Andrea Gone, but I didn't want to knit it. I wanted the hat to be that already.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, I could buy another skein of this yarn if I really wanted to. And like I felt like
Who carries that? Because I found it at the Mercery, but then when I went back, I didn't see it.
I mean, Craft Me at Yarn Co. does sell in stock on her website.
Okay.
I don't think she's been doing a lot of dyeing in the last year because I think she's been very upfront on her Instagram about having some mental health struggles. But I really love the color. I'm so mad that it, because like when I was knitting it up here, I was like, ooh, this is so fun. I'm happy. And like, there's gray, there's brown, and then like hard shift.
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed. I had actually, this is the second start of this actually, because I had done it with a different main color.
The yarn?
The cowl.
The cowl.
And I just chopped it off because I think the gauge was slightly off, but I used the same Spincycle, and then it was just like a mid kind of denim-y blue, and I liked that, but the gauge was a little off, and I was like, I just don't know that I'm like wildly in love with it. I liked it less in this like really black and white barber pole section.
Yep.
I'm undecided. I might finish it. I'm just so annoyed about this Spincycle, and I just want to be done with it. I want it out of my stash, but I like the colorways theoretically enough, but I don't know. I was planning to I wanted to take this on vacation with me because I was like, I'm really enjoying this half fisherman's rib, and then I would be able to use it immediately, which is like kind of my criteria for like a travel project is theoretically if I can use it immediately after I'm done, that would be great. But I'm just not happy with how it's turning out. It's delightfully squashy, but I'm mad and I'm frog it. I like this.
We don't want not positive associations with our dating. Yeah,
I like that skein of BFL way too much to like sacrifice it to something blah.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's all my whips finally.
Yay!
I do have some acquisitions
yes.
because I was traveling. One of them being Cardiff Cashmere Classic.
Lovely color.
So much so that I bought more because it remained, as ever, a lot less expensive. And so in the realm of dynamic colors, this is, what is the color? 306. I don't know what its actual human Catholic name is, but it's like a sea green with it's got some purples in there. Yeah. It's really pretty. I was debating between this and like a chocolate brown, but ultimately decided on this. I know.
Yeah.
Growth.
Brown.
I know. I was like, she would be so lovely. And my husband was like, I don't know if I love the brown. And I was like, well, you're trash, but you're right. So we got this. I have 6 balls of this. I think I will probably just do another jaunty. Because I really enjoyed the knit, or maybe I'll do a Sophie Scarf or something. I just it's so delightfully soft. It's not enough to knit a garment with, really. It's like 125 yards maybe per 25 grams. I have 6, so 700 yards, 750 yards, something like that. Yeah. Not really enough for a garment. I could maybe knit a vest, but I would be squeaking it out, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. And I think when I had originally bought the blue, I had been looking at this color as well, so it's funny that I landed on this one as well.
It's a really nice green blue.
Very lovely.
A blue green.
Yeah, very nice. I bought this at Fiber Yard in Edinburgh. It was a very nice walk to get there from Old Town. Well, I guess it was through Newtown, wasn't it? I don't remember. It was a long day, and it was a week and a half ago, but it was a nice walk, and the owner was very nice and lovely, and it was fun to look around the yarn store, and that was where I almost bought more of the one of the Delea Chic blend, and I was like, these colors, but I hate this yarn, but I love these colors. I didn't hate the yarn, I just didn't care for the experience. But this actually, where is it? My pile of whips. Feels like exactly halfway between both of these colors. I realized that this morning, and I was like, you...
Have a time. It happens.
You scamp, you, Alaina. Look at you. What else? Also from Fiber Yard, I got literally just this one skein of yarn. It's a fingering weight. It's the Marie Wallen British Breeds fingering weight, I think. Okay. Is it? Let's see. I think it's a fingering weight. I think the color is called Corn Cockle. It also just says corn on the tag. But it's a really nice blend. It feels really soft. I couldn't put it down, and I was like, well, she can just go into the Jamieson and Smith pile. That's fine.
This is a really lovely color.
Yes. Yeah. Couldn't put it down. I was like, feelings. Yeah.
Were all of the other ones like this dynamic?
They were all like fairly dynamic, but I wasn't like as in love with them. Yeah. None of them were like quite as like interesting to me as this like
blurple.
It's like, I mean, if you can look right here at my little corner of knits, like they're all like roughly the same color vibes. It was just kind of embarrassing. So backtracking a little bit, we were in London for a couple of days, and on I think it was our last day there, we went to Beautiful Knitters in London. It's a very lovely little yarn stores. I think Pimlico.
Sounds bougie.
It was very bougie. It was lovely. I got the cashmere, and I got this single skein of Makosh from Hey Mama Wolf, which
Cute.
is a merino. It's a sport weight base. It's very squashy. Settingly squashy.
Yep.
I think she'd be a really lovely hat, or maybe like a neck thing. And it's a sport weight. It's about 338 yards, I think, for a skein.
The rare breed takes care of the landscapes in South France and the French Alps.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
But I'm kicking myself now for not getting more, because I think it would make a really nice traveler hoodie or traveler crew. Yeah. There was, wouldn't you know, a color kind of like this that I was like, no, character growth. I'm not going to get that. Brilliant. Mindless, brilliant. And then after that, we went to Loop London, which was over in Camden. Cute little yarn store. We walked past it initially because I thought it was like 2 blocks down, and we made it to like kind of the end of the market area, and I was like, I feel like we should have seen a yarn store by now. And Vaughn was like, I'm pretty sure we passed it actually. It was right at the beginning. But it was a cute little yarn store, and I've been really excited to. There was like a woolen Angora, like DK weight yarn that I really wanted to get some of, but I wasn't like actually like that thrilled with any of the colors. So I was like, I don't need this. I don't need to come away with this. So instead I got 3 skeins of this, which is John Arbin Knit by Numbers 4-ply. This is the color 89. It's a nice purple. Very soft. I have 3 skeins of this. It's a fingering weight, so that should be about 12 to 1300 yards. And while I was shopping, I didn't want to get things that I couldn't otherwise get in the US, with the exception of Cardiff Cashmere, because that's a lot less expensive to buy abroad. So this is like a 50-50 BFL Falklands Merino.
Really nice.
It's really nice. There was a lot of colors, and I think it is similar to the Mercery's in-house, like Ampersand. The original 2 bases she had. She would do like...
I've been wanting to go to Mercery for a while.
Okay, twist my arm. I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in. But her original basis, I cannot remember the name. I think it's like Caslon fingering and DK weight that I have worked with, but I can't remember the name of it. They're like 3 different shades, all kind of within like the same colorway. So it'd be like this, and then like this plus like 50% dye, and then like 75%. So like within the same color formula, just like differing intensities is I guess the best way to describe it. So similarly, there's a lot of colors in this range, and I spent a long time holding like this and a brown up next to me, and I was like, just go with the purple, you're happy with the purple. And I think that could be a nice play, like the body of it. But it's just really soft.
It's really soft.
It's really soft. I think also some kind of like triangle scarfy situation would also work, because I really like this color, and I don't know if I'm like really that excited about sweaters right now, which is like very weird as a garment knitter generally to be feeling.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, what? Are you okay?
Well, before we go on like too huge of a tangent, I have been knitting all year in preparation for the trip that we just went on. So I've been in like fall knitting moods.
Fair.
All year, even through the summer, I was like really smashing through sweaters.
I
And
imagine Alaina in London.
yeah, you can set challenges for yourself on Ravelry. It's just like finish a number of projects in a year. If you go to Ravelry, if you go to like projects. Oh, so I've already hit like, the very arbitrary project goal that I had set for myself of 30 projects, and like, I don't need more sweaters. Feels like a wild thing to say, but like...
It's brave of you to admit on a knitting podcast that you don't need more sweaters.
I don't need them. I want them. But like, there's also nothing that like right now is making my heart scream, sing, my brain froth in such a way that's like, I have to knit this right now. So like, I'm finishing projects that are on the needles. I'm finishing some little hats that I started. I'm trying to knit through stash. I'm knitting baby blankets that I have due shortly. And I don't know. I'm just waiting for the like creativity to come back.
Yeah. Until then, just enjoy the craft.
Right. It's okay for there to be seasons where like the creativity is a little lower and you're just knitting on things that you've already started. And then there are times where I'm like, I need to cast on 4 different things because the world is screaming at me to catch these on. That was a tangent, but those are my fall knitting plans, and then I don't have fall knitting plans.
I bravely went to the yarn store and spent like half hour there and did not buy anything.
You're very brave.
I know. It was really hard, but I almost left with a candle. Just like, every time we go to the store, I always leave with a candle. I'm a horrible person. I do burn my candles.
You do use your candles a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love Wax and Wool. They're like an all-female company, and then I'm supporting the yarn store by buying the candle, and it was called Matcha and Bergamot.
Wait, why didn't you buy
I know,
that?
because I was like, I'm strong, I don't need another candle.
It's okay to be a little weak. If it's like totally on brand.
I just like, maybe I should have gotten it.
Yeah. No.
But anyway.
Back to yarn acquisitions. These I got from the shop Ginger Twist in Edinburgh, which is, she's like a hand dyer. They also have like commercial yarn. They have a wall of commercial yarn. They have more than a wall of like their hand dyed yarn. They have a lot of different bases. They carry them at Acorn Street. She has a couple bases there.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then they have a whole room of
point it out when we're there.
Beautiful, colorful fabric. This is not her hand dyed yarn, but this is from Orkney Angora. This is, what is the name of the base? St. Magnus 4-ply. It is a 50-50 Angora and wool blend.
It's a really like loose halo. I like it.
Yeah. It is like a very tiny cake for it being like 400 yards.
Oh wow, this is 400 yards.
Yeah. I think the Angora will floof up once it's knit up. I'm planning to knit another till out of it.
Like the level, it's hard to describe the different softness of it versus cashmere.
Yeah.
Because like it's like somehow like the absence of anything that makes it feel soft. I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus like this is like cushion fluff soft.
Yeah. I have an Angora cardigan that is too small for me at this point, but like that is like very aggressively soft. So I really like Angora. This was the yarn. They have a DK weight. I was trying to find the DK weight at Loop London in a color that I liked, but I wasn't like really that excited. And then I saw these at Ginger Twist and was like, I'm back in. So I spent a long time trying to figure out what colors to choose from these for, a pair. So I think they were sold through like a pretty significant amount of their colors. But I really liked the natural white and then this silver gray color. I think that's just going to be a nice basic for me. Yeah. But I was also looking at like a butter yellow or like a lemon yellow. Ooh. And there was like 2 different shades of blue, but neither of them were like quite the right icy blue. Mm-hmm. They were like somehow too saturated and also like slightly too green. And I was like, put it down. It's okay to knit with gray. That's my... over there.
Alaina's psyching herself up. It's okay to knit with gray. It's okay. She's like, never did I think I'd be having this conversation with myself.
I didn't, actually. I started knitting so that I could knit the nice wool gray sweaters that were too expensive in my mind's eye to, you know, buy, and now it's like, man, it would be nice to buy a sweater. It would be so nice. There's one sweater that I still think of. It was like, I think the shop that we bought Colin's coat at, because spoiler alert, my husband did not pack heavy enough, and he was very cold, and so we had to buy him a wool coat. And there was like this beautiful lamb's wool sweater that I remember picking up and being like, oh, she's very soft. Yeah. It's not like cashmere. I feel like cashmere, I don't know how to describe it comparatively, but I still think about that sweater. So anyways, I bought 8 skeins of this. They're 50 gram skeins, so it's just like 4 big ones. This is the Wee County Yarns Kinross 4-ply. This is the colorway Scots Pine. I also spent a really long time trying to decide what color, and it is very soft. They had a swatch knit up, and it's like cashmere adjacent. It's not quite the same, but it's cashmere adjacent to me.
It's like a smoother soft. If the cashmere was like really fluffy, like pillows bouncing up into your hand, this is more like a smoother, like silky soft blanket or something. It
has like a little bit of like a, not scratch, but like a little bit of like a texture as you run your fingers over it, whereas the cashmere to me, like not like wet, but like slightly closer to that kind of feeling.
All of these words are obviously inadequate, but we're doing our best.
This is a really lovely yarn. I have like 1,700 yards, maybe 1,800 total with the additional, probably close to 1,800 yards.
It's a really nice color.
It's a really nice color. I really don't want to hold it with the mohair because it's going to take away from how beautiful the feeling of it is. So I'm just trying to decide what fingering weight project I want to cast on with this. But I regret not buying it in white. I hadn't given the white the time of day. And I have like a vision for a sweater, and I can't decide the best way to make it happen. I can send you the video. It is a video that I took out the bathroom window in Bora Bora. Is the light coming through like the slats? Like it's very cool. I'll show you after, but like it was like kind of watercolory, and like the way that the light was moving on the water and reflecting up was like very beautiful and inspiring. And I was like, I can see the sweater, and like I can understand how I would do it. I don't want to put in the time to figure it out. But like I could do it with mohair. I have grand illusions of like knitting just a plain sweater, and then like there's like yarn. I can't think of what the word I'm looking for is. It's not like natural dyes, it's like a watercolor repaint type situation that like you can use on yarn.
Whoa. Okay.
And I feel like it's like Derwent Inktense or something. I've had a tab.
Spoke German to me.
Inktense is the name of the product. I think they have it at Blick, and it's like a bajillion dollars for like a 70 palette set. And I was like, that could be a fun Christmas project. But I was thinking the white would be great for that iteration. But anyways, that's a long tangent, and I don't know why I'm wetting this yarn around. Okay, last one. This was purchased at the yarn store. I have 2 skeins of this. And the color changing yarn.
That's like your brain in a skein. How did they do that for you?
I know. This is knit in Dublin. I have 2 of these. This is the Earth Yarns. I think it's Harvest Sport, maybe? Spiral Grain Sport Weight. So I was not close at all. It's 100% superwash merino, and it is another one of them color changing yarns. This is the colorway Redwood. There was 2 colors that I was trying to decide between, and I can't even remember the other color that I was looking at. So I guess that's a good sign.
Just merino? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
That is not. I was like, who is she? It was just like
she's
merino.
Very nice. So I only bought 2 skeins of that, but I was holding these 2 together, and I was like, this is scratching my brain in a very nice way, but I think it'll be way too low contrast for me to be like actually happy with it. But it's very pretty, and I'm very happy with it. And I've never seen Earth Yarns on this side of the
pond.
Pond, yeah. I was like, what's the ocean? The Atlantic. But we're not even by the Atlantic either. We're
No.
by the Pacific.
We got the whole continent between us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So that's everything,
Yep.
finally.
We have made it through all of the yarn. I'll do a quick sewing
Finished objects.
sewing update.
Yeah.
Went-
Finally, I can stop talking.
We've been doing back and forth. We got some good banter going on. Went to Hobbit Fest. It was a 5-day experience. You were LARPing for 3 days, from Thursday to Saturday. I had a great time. It was kind of a shit show from the planner side. Some of it uncontrollable. Some of it they could have done more. But what really made it magical was all the people. So grateful for everyone who was there. It was very homey and wholesome, and everyone was just going, "Hi, Hobbit. Hello, Hobbit," and we were all pretending to be hobbits, and it was great. For making things, I think I showed off that bodice. So I finished the Austrian dirndl from Folkwear in a silk knoll, and I lined it with some more denim to give it a little bit more structure. I did a bunch of little gold buttons. I'll probably insert some video, maybe just a picture of these things. I was gonna make a Lorien skirt. I didn't end up having enough fabric for it that I wanted in like my dream palette to match all the outfits that I wanted to make. And so since I was on such a time crunch, I was like, okay, so I don't have time for the Lorien skirt, I'll order fabric for that, and then I'll make the meadow skirt, and then if I have time, I can go back and make the Lorien skirt. So I finished the meadow skirt. Both of those are from Folkwear again. Oh no, sorry, that was Twig and Tail. Meadow skirt and Lorien skirt. And they're based in New Zealand, so I thought that was really fun. And
Love that.
They have a lot of things that are like cottagecore, like Hobbit inspired. And I made the meadow skirt in this really beautiful blue. It's a viscose linen blend. It has a big tie. It's super long. Like, it was super comfy. I've been wearing it to work, and it has pockets. And I didn't realize that the pockets were exposed, and I didn't have enough fabric to do both sides of the pocket. Okay, so like when you stick your hands in, you know, sometimes like the back of the pocket showing, and like then the top of the skirt covers, so you only need the bag, like the bag here and here. I didn't realize that one was gonna be showing and one wasn't, and so like I just randomly picked a pocket to do it in the matching fabric, and then was like, I'll just do it in a different one because most pockets don't show. I'm so glad that like I lucked out. The one that was showing, I did it in the matching fabric because I like used up like every bit of fabric that I had for that skirt. So that turned out great. And then I made 2 overland cloaks, also by Twig and Tail, which are fully lined, giant hood, and have pockets. It was a lot of work. That took me like 8 days of like solid sewing. Like, it was like I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm peeing and I'm drinking some water and then I'm sewing until I have to go to work, and then I'm going to work, and then when I come back I'm sewing, and then when I lay down for sleep at like 9 or 9:30, I'm like panicked because I'm like, there's these 5 minutes that like I could be sewing as I'm like falling asleep.
Min-maxing your sewing time.
Yeah, like it was bad. I flew way too close to the work.
I didn't feel like I didn't hear from you for like a full week.
Yeah, I like...
You were just lost in the throes of like sewing.
Not peeing, not drinking, not eating, not looking at my phone. Like, it was like whatever was coming up on YouTube was playing. Like, it's just like, I am getting these cloaks done. Nathan's turned out great. We actually picked up some lining fabric together at Stitches. I used like a camel hair, like wool for the outside. It's black.
He had a real bougie little cloak.
He's a bougie ass cloak. I had bought that to make like Hogwarts cloaks, like, you know, we do not speak of that anymore. And yeah, I'm glad we found this like gold lining, because I had red lining in stash, but the red and the black,
too vampire,
and like it's only appropriate if it's like a Hogwarts cloak, and like we're not doing that, whatever. And mine, I chose like this grayish wool crepe from Pacific Fabrics and did like a pink satin on the inside. It's very princess. I think I might have messed up on like the grain line on one of the sleeves or one of the lining, because it like curls a little bit, but like when you're walking around it's not too bad. But it kept us super warm. I like I think a lot of people weren't prepared for like how cold it was going to get camping. And then the linens that we like rented for the tent furnishings was, I would describe it like you went to Walmart and you bought something for your nieces to show up for the weekend, and like they're going to be there using it once. Like it's not keeping you warm, but it was like covering the bed. We had a blanket. I purchased like a camping blanket that we packed, which took up like half the suitcase, but I'm glad we brought it because we were warm. And then I also laid that cloak on top of me while we were sleeping. And I am a huge convert on cloaks. I'm like, I get it. They're really useful. Like, especially like in old-timey context. Like, it's like, I'm in the tent, I'm fully covered with a blanket, and I could get changed underneath. Or like, you know, sometimes you use like wipes to like camp shower. So it's like I was in, well, maybe you don't, yeah. People who maybe camp are familiar with camp shower and just like wiping yourself down. So like did that and like wasn't freezing because I was just surrounded with a blanket that was well designed that stayed on me. And like it was like an instant chair. So it was like when I was outside, I could just like sit on it on the ground and like it was fine. And then so again, a blanket, the hood, like for like sun. I don't know. I was like, this is a practical object.
Why have I never made myself a cloak prior?
Why do I not wear cloaks as a regular human?
You could.
I could. Very practical.
Roll up to work in your little cloak, and then you unveil all of the knitwear.
Dun, 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 dun.
You're like, yes, I made it. And everyone was like, you have a meeting. That's what we were trying to tell you.
So, yeah. Those were, I think, all the things that I got done in time.
You're going to show me after this, right?
Yes.
Obviously, you'll be putting photos over my face. That's important.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't sewn since I've gotten back. I haven't really had to drive because I definitely burned myself out.
Yeah, you've sewn a little too close to the sun.
Yeah, a little bit of breather time. We're back to knitting though, which is great.
Do you have any projects that you're thinking about casting on, or any like fall knitting plans?
Well, this was like the big one, right? I really wanted to get this one going.
Well, you texted me and you were like, what if I chaos cast on another project? And I was like, okay, well, yes, let's feed into that energy. Tell me, what are we thinking about chaos casting on?
Yeah. I literally saved the project as Gremlin Winter in my Rapworry projects. I think I'm feeling like the opposite energy. I'm like, well,
I love that for you. I'm so happy that someone is feeling sweater energy.
Yeah. I'm thinking I put the V-neck in the white. And I really want to make the matcha pullover, but I don't think I have any, because I wanted to use the matcha that I have, and they were like, that might be too thick.
I think it'll be like a really like nice, sturdy stand-up on its own fabric at that gauge.
So when I was in Tea Cozy, I was looking, I was like, well, I have the mohair here. So, yeah. I'm like feeling desire for the matcha one because like the kind of looseness of the sleeves and like the high neck and
I mean, I'm sure that we could find something that would work with like the Purgant yarn that you have and in like a similar kind of construction and kind of like look. I think we could find something like that for you.
And probably another pair of socks. I didn't bring down the pair of socks that I'm working on that are cast on because I haven't touched them again. Yeah. And I think I just want another vanilla pair going.
Yeah. I have a pair of socks that I started with my spooky October stock yarn that I took them out of my bag to show today because I was like, I haven't touched these since we left for vacation, and I think I'm gonna frog back because I'm just not excited about them. They're like it's like a 2-row repeat, and just like every 4 stitches, like one is slipped, and like it looks really nice. I think it's treating the variated yarn really nicely, but I'm just like not that excited about it right now. And I mean, largely I'm just like not excited about socks in general, but like
Oh, I traded a bunch of my socks at Hobby Fest. Yeah. There was a player run like night market, and everyone's like, obviously you can imagine a high concentration of people who craft that were there, and like I brought some socks that were too loose, or I didn't really like the color combo, or, just things I was like, I'm willing to part with these, and like, because I'm not wearing them. And so many people like really loved them, and I traded them away, and I got like honey and like homemade jam and like a hat, and someone made me a flower crown. I think I traded for a pair of like mittens. Like, it was just like really fun, and people were like super happy. I gave one to Hazario. She's on YouTube. She's a crafter, and I found her and I gave her. I think it was actually our bestie pairs, the cashmere ones with the.
You gave those away?
I can make another pair. They were too tight for
This
me.
is how I find out you gifted away our bestie socks. Who is this woman I'm besties with? Who is she? I haven't met her.
I have to tag her and be like, you have matching socks
With my best friend.
Alaina.
Legally, you are obligated to be her best friend now. I didn't know. Well, alrighty then.
They were too small for my feet. Everyone, when they saw them, they were like, oh, I want those. Like, it's like from the beginning. And then I like showed them to people and I was like, these are high value ones. I'm gonna squirrel these away.
So you gave them away for free?
to Ariel. It's like giving them to like Lady Gaga or Dua Lipa or something, you know? You're just like, these are doing great good in the world.
Those are keeping Lady Gaga's feet warm.
Exactly. Could you imagine?
I'd prefer not to, actually.
You don't like Lady Gaga?
I don't want to think about her feet.
She probably gets cold feet. Like most people.
You're so pure. I don't think that's the context I was thinking of.
Oh.
There we go. I've dragged you down to my level.
Well, Howlett, you've heard all about this.
What a great transition.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all the crafting, and I traded them away, and I got the things, and people were really happy, and it made me really happy to have like my work super valued. Because crafters understand any craft takes a lot of time, a lot of skill. So even if they don't like have actually done that, you're like, oh my god, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. So
So that was really valuing. Is that a word? Can I say it that way?
I can't think of a better word.
Okay.
But we've been talking for a while, so I don't have a lot of words left in my brain.
Perfect.
Hooray!
Right, well, if you made it to this really long episode,
Thanks, Katie and Dana.
thanks for watching. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be back to a more regular schedule. Although I guess holidays are coming up, so yeah, so we'll make it through that.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be another 6 weeks before I see you again.
No, well, you're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So
We're both going somewhere, but like different places and at the same time.
and it's like a weekend.
Yeah,
so
it'll be fine.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye.